My previous video that I talked about on this camera position and clothing and everything, I mentioned, if you hear screaming and weird noises in the background, my brother's watching the IT crowd, I mentioned how I wanted to talk about digital releases of films, because in my previous video I was talking about like special features and artwork designs and how they're getting low par in terms of quality, lack of special features in new releases, artwork looking usually like garbage. I was going to say grab something, just garbage, pure garbage. Exorcist being a main example, some Disney flicks as well. It is what it is. So that of course brings you to, where are the special features? Where have they gone? Where did they come from? Where did they go? That is the question, because currently, where did they come from? Usually either the original Blu-ray releases and or original Laserdisc pressings, Laserdisc releases and DVD releases. Like Cinderella is like the perfect example of this, where apparently I'm pretty sure, maybe Sleeping Beauty, one of the two of them, it sucks that I cannot remember. I mean, Sleeping Beauty is a good example, but to my knowledge, one of them had a really good Laserdisc set. I think it was Sleeping Beauty. It had like a perfect Laserdisc set. The image quality and audio could still be used and upgraded, but in terms of special features, bam, a lot of good stuff. Then you get to the Blu-ray Platinum Release Edition, which is like the same special features, bar a few here and there, and it's all upgraded from the DVD release. I'm skipping the DVD here, but you're going from one to the next, and it's still a Blu-ray transfer, looks nice, maybe a bit of DNR, but at the same time looks pretty good, and good special features and whatnot. Couple years later you get Diamond Edition release, cuts out like half the special features but same transfer. Then I don't think they did the signature release with Sleeping Beauty because they'd already had two Blu-ray releases already, and so no 4K release. Why? I don't know. That movie would look fantastic in 4K. Then, of course, you get contrast that to Cinderella, where it's the same thing. But Cinderella, at least know of this, where they've gone from the DVD release with a lot of good special features to the Diamond Edition release with the same special features, maybe plus a few, and then a new transfer and whatever, and multiple audio options. Signature release cuts out the half of the special features, and then the 4K release is the same signature, but with a new transfer and a new transfer on the 4K. But the 4K also cuts out audio. But either way, you get to, let's pause at the signature release. Because I've looked online on bluray.com, it stipulates that you can still get the special features from the previous release, but they're not on the disc. And that, it's digital. It's obviously gone digital. There's no pause for dramatic effect here. It's gone digital. Now, there is still a lot of people who like to use digital versions of movies, which is perfectly fine, till you find out you don't actually own it and they can still change it on you. Did you know that with the French Connection? Yeah, they still changed the digital copy. Good stuff. I don't know if that was through buying the Blu-ray release, but it definitely was through buying it on like iTunes and whatnot. So that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. So owning a movie digitally, sure, I guess. That's why if you ever see me open up a Blu-ray case new and I've got a digital code, I will show it on the camera and throw it in the bin. Because if you want it, you can have it. I'm not having it. I ain't selling it. I'm throwing that shit out because it's just worthless crap to me. I now am burdened with, look, this Blu-ray comes with an ultraviolet code that expired 4 years ago. And I'm like, great, why can't I get rid of this from the goddamn artwork on the goddamn Blu-ray disc? Put it on the back. Put a sticker on it saying comes with the ultraviolet code. You know, or like with what American bloody releases do now, where it says Blu-ray plus digital code. Until the digital code says it expires. I have the Scooby-Doo goddamn limited edition release, which is a beautiful 50th anniversary release, and yet it still has on the plastic outer case Blu-ray plus digital code underneath. Digital code expires on this date. I'm pretty sure that code has expired. I'm pretty sure one of my subscribers actually got the code because I put it on the screen and allowed someone to get it. Because it's worthless to me. I live in Australia. Internet here is not fantastic. I luckily have NBN, but still. Oh shit, it's bad. But like, it's worth noting that releases Ultraviolet I don't think really exists anymore. We might have had a Movies Anywhere or something like that, but it doesn't really exist anymore. At least not to my knowledge. Do people still go on that stuff? I don't know. I don't see releases now having digital codes, but that's a big thing in America. And I want to know, I don't know about the UK, but definitely in America, where they will, if someone says like, oh, like say Dawn of the Discs, who I follow on like Facebook, will like post, oh, here's the new release of this, and someone will still ask, whether it be 4K or not, they will still ask, does it come with a digital code? And this obviously means there's a market for it, which is fine, good. I don't have any criticism against people who still want this quality to their film release. It's like asking, will the release come with a DVD copy? It's basically worthless, but I want to know if I can have it. That's at least my impression. Like, I find digital copies to be worthless as much as a DVD is if you were to getting a literal physical release on 4K and or Blu-ray. If you're already getting a physical, why would I want a digital? But I can understand people who still want it. And sure, if it still comes with it, fine, as long as it doesn't take up space on the artwork to be like, we got a digital code as well, If it's on the banner, sure. If it's a code that expires, what's the point? For one thing, what you expect your Blu-ray to sell out in the next 3 years? I don't think so. Some movies are shit. It exists. That's what happens. So the fact that a lot of digital codes now are not just, here's the movie, you can watch it digitally, as they say on the back of a bunch of these Blu-rays, stream it anywhere. You can stream it on your tablet, on your smartphone, in your car while you get into a bloody accident. Because you're fucking watching a movie while you're driving. It's like going on TikTok when you're at the movies. It's like, I mean, you won't get into a car accident in the cinema, but someone might stab you to death. Probably not. They'll throw something at you. But, because that's just poor rhetoric. So, it doesn't make any sense to me to have things be exclusive to the digital release. Like, if they wanted to do that, they would have done it immediately and been like, this is exclusive to the digital release. You have to get the digital now. And actually, now that I'm saying that, that's probably exactly what they did. Here's a way to advertise digital. We'll put all the special features from the old releases onto the digital, so you don't have to have them on your disc instead. Makes it cheaper for us, so we can have it all on one server. And then in a couple years later, we'll delete the server and you won't be able to access it anymore. Do you know that's probably actually what they're doing? I'm not here to promote conspiracy theories or anything, but that's like that's what I'm feeling that they're doing, and it's just annoying in a way, because someone like me, who, whether I have to import or whether I just like buying stuff in local markets, he says with a tear to his eye knowing that he can't buy Disney releases. I know people still hate Disney, but like, I saw like the movies that they make, whether they've made them 70 years ago or whether they made them yesterday. I don't really watch the stuff they made yesterday, but I guess they still own Fox, so I kind of have to enjoy some of it. I like movies. It's just me. So the fact that the signature releases of their Blu-rays, which I don't even know if they came with a digital release in Australia, the signature releases for the Disney ones, because I didn't buy them. Why would I do that? Especially of recent, when I've been buying a bunch of Disney films, I've been buying the diamond releases because I want to have as many special features as possible. It's just it's driving me up the wall. Like, obviously nothing's perfect when it comes to mainstream companies. I even tackled this at the end of the previous video, saying how other companies don't do digital releases. Stuff like Criterion or Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow Video. Like, you can still probably get their, stuff in a digital way. I know that they've got like streaming platforms and whatnot, which is fine. Like, that makes a lot of sense, that Arrow Video or Arrow Films have their own streaming service. So do Mubi started as a streaming service. Now it's a physical release service. How cool is that? Streaming isn't exactly the end all be all or the death of physical media, because sometimes it promotes other physical forms. If an actor passes away and everyone wants to watch this film, it's not on Netflix or your go-to streaming service of choice. Rent it or buy the DVD or Blu-ray. It's a bad way to promote the film, but at the same time, that's something that happens. It's a common thing. So of course you get these other releases from these boutique brands, and they don't have digital releases. And I can understand if that can annoy some people, especially those who really like their digital copies. Which, sure, I guess I do. If you okay, please tell me, someone, if you buy digital releases or buy the films for the digital releases, what do you do with them? Like, honestly, do you just watch this stuff on your laptop or something? Like, I actually want to know, because I guess it's because some people don't have like Blu-ray players. I can understand that, or like maybe you're on the go a lot and you don't want to have to like constantly resubscribe into Netflix and then keep telling Netflix it is you. Just because you're in Oklahoma and not Ohio does not mean that you're not the same person. That must be fun. No, we've got that here in Australia too. It's not fun. But at the same time, it's like, I can understand if you, again, an on-the-go kind of person, or you just don't like having a lot of a physical collection, or don't have the space for it, so it's just easier to have it all digitally, have it as a digital library, and stream it. And if you have fantastic internet, then props to you, but I don't. I mean, my internet's fine, but, you know, it's Australia, notoriously known for some of the worst internet in the goddamn planet. Not as bad as people who some countries who just don't have it, or, well, not the worst, not the best. Far from privileged, but still privileged. So, yeah, it's just interesting because, again, I understand the practicalities. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to be like, this is stupid, this shouldn't exist, get rid of it now. I'm not going to say that. No. Ugh. It's the essence of, if it exists to force a limitation, that's where I have problem with it. If it's, oh, you want the special features? Use the digital copy you provided that expired 3 years ago, and you can go on the website and find all these special features. I'm like, why would I do that? I have a DVD player. Let me just put in the disc. It's on the disc. Why can't I just watch it on the fucking disc? But of course, it costs more to put more on the disc, and then it maybe takes away bit rate, so then you've got to put in another disc, and that costs more as well. A little bit of paper ain't got to make up for it, my guy. You're only just filling landfills now instead, so yeah, that's my main objection against it. It's just, I can understand the necessity of people wanting digital copies of films so they can have a digital library to stream it wherever, which is like the main advertising point of like Ultraviolet, the brand in Australia. Stream it anywhere. It's not watch it wherever you go, and also here's all your special features. I don't even know if you can get special features on Ultraviolet. I feel like it's limited to what actual companies own the film, you know, because Disney own their films, so of course they would have a digital library of all of their special features. Ironically, that isn't Disney Plus. Not at all. Not in the slightest. So, yeah, it's disappointing, to say the least. It'll be a hell of a day when streaming services are like, hey, what if we like put all these special features onto our streaming services because we own the films and we can do that, and that could be interesting. Hey, you want to watch Cinderella with a commentary track? Here you go. You can do that now. It's in the audio options. But no, they're not going to do that. Why would they do that? Why would I want to listen to the guys who wrote The Simpsons talk about, hey, this was a funny joke in The Simpsons, here's how this came about being. They have that for like every episode. I have the DVDs because they have, well, not just because they have the commentaries, but because they're great. I love it. It's a good show. So it's just, it's same with Futurama, actually. I've got like all that on DVD because I love the show, but it does also come with like, I think every episode has some kind of audio commentary track or whatever, which is like such a thing to do, like to put in the money for people to listen to this stuff. It's cool. It's admirable. But none of that's limited to go on Disney Plus or digital HD to watch it. I'm like, no, it's there on the disc. It's inherently part of the thing that you're buying. I'm not buying, it's like buying a game these days. Actually, almost, yeah, literally buying a game on physical these days. It's not worth it because it's digitally there. I mean, I liked it, but I buy like PlayStation games and whatnot, or Xbox. Like, I'm going to buy console games over PC games because PC, you've got Steam, so what's the point of buying it in physical outside of, unless you're getting a collector's set or whatever, you know? Like, I would buy, if I bought games, which I have before in the past, would buy a steelbook release or a just standard release that happens to be on a console. I'm not going to digitally buy that. I'm going to get the disc release, install it, and then wait for the updates, and then play it for 20 minutes and be like, alright, I don't play video games. Bye! There's $80 I'm never getting back. So I do that. I stop doing that now because it's like, ugh. It's not completely dissimilar, but at the same time, it's almost the same when it comes to PC games. You know, it's just all digital now, so what's the point of buying anything physical? If that was the same as movies, well, this shit wouldn't exist now, would it? So, yeah. It's interesting. Anyway, I don't know. But again, if you're reliant on digital copies, let me know your thoughts on them. Even if you're not reliant on them, but you like using them, let me know the practicality that you have of them, because I don't have the experience of that. Also, not being in America, I don't think many Australians use digital stuff outside of like streaming platforms. I don't think they buy physical media to use ultraviolet codes. I've never met anyone who's used an ultraviolet code, or at least not admitted it. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious. I'd like to know. Outside of that, let me know how dumb this thing is that Disney's doing and that other services are doing, where it's just limited to getting special features on a digital code. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you next time. Adios.